God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My son, listen to me now with your spirit completely open, because there are movements that happen in the invisible long before your eyes perceive them in the natural. While many think that the battle against you began only recently, I tell you, there were attempts even before your awareness awakened to them. But nothing, absolutely nothing, comes near you without first passing through the filter of my sovereignty. The Lord is faithful, He will strengthen you and guard you from the evil one." 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 3. The forces that rose against you believed they could touch you, confuse you, weaken you, but they ignored the one who guards you. Do you feel ready for a deep change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes all we need is a small step of faith to open the doors of abundance, peace, and blessings that God has already reserved for us. A simple 1-minute prayer can be the beginning of a spiritual journey that transforms the interior and reflects on the exterior. If you want to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, both spiritual and material, click on the first comment. There you will find a simple practice, guided with love, that can help you connect more deeply with the divine presence in your life. They ignored that I sealed you with my spirit, that I marked you with my presence, and that I decreed over your life a protection that cannot be violated. Darkness tried to probe your steps, tried to access your thoughts, tried to cast shadows over your soul, but I was faster. Before the attack was formed, I had already released an army around you. Before the contrary word was spoken, I had already invalidated it. There is no darkness capable of crossing the boundary where my light begins. Comment, I trust in God's love, He is my refuge. My son, many believed they could touch your spirit through hidden intentions, malicious thoughts, or practices that do not carry my name. They pronounced your name in places where I do not dwell and made movements driven by envy, resentment, and the smallness of their own internal battles. They thought your faith was fragile, that your spirit was tired, and that your light was fading. But what they did not perceive is that you were strengthened exactly in the areas where they tried to wound you. They deal with appearance, I deal with essence. They observe the exterior, I transform the interior. They tried to create breaches, but you are a dwelling place of the Spirit, and where the Spirit dwells, there is no entry for what is impure. My son, you have no idea how much you have been guarded. There were nights when your mind would have been the battlefield, but I covered your rest. There were mornings when your soul would have been the target of spiritual weight, but I renewed your strength before you even perceived your need. Comment, I rest because I know God takes care of me. Hear the truth that sets free and restores. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 17. The words spoken against you, even those uttered in silence, carried intention, but they lost all power when they encountered the shield of faith that I myself placed within you. I turn poison into healing, curses into strength, and malicious intention into fuel for your ascension. Do you know why? Because you are mine, and your spirit carries my mark. Every time someone tried to touch your peace, I increased the flame I placed within you, Every time they tried to diminish you, I expanded your authority. Darkness fears light, and your light disturbs them because it does not come from you, it comes from me. I anointed you for this generation, and every attempt to wound you becomes, against their will, a platform for your victory. No attack prospers, no accusation remains, no trap prevails, because I am the one who goes before you, surrounds you on all sides, and strengthens your spirit. What was sent to break you now builds you, what was planned to stop you now propels you, and what was crafted to harm you becomes the greatest testimony of my power in your life. You are protected, chosen, supported, and strengthened, and nothing forged in darkness will overcome the light I placed in you. Comment, I am light because God is my light. Some have crossed boundaries they should never have crossed. They took your name to contaminated places, mentioned your life in dark atmospheres, tried to raise against you accusations and intentions that do not come from me. They lit candles, made requests, moved energies in environments where my spirit does not dwell, but none of it found an open door in you. They did not know that angels were positioned around you, intercepting every charge they tried to send, blocking every arrow before it even approached. No evil crosses the boundary of obedience. You have been guarded by presence, not by walls, protected by spirit, not by distance, sustained by light, not by human strength. What they tried to do returned to its own emptiness, because every work that is not born of light dies in darkness. Nothing they planned took hold, nothing they desired against you prospered, nothing they crafted found fertile soil in your spirit. They are already beginning to reap the weight of the choices they made, while you are being lifted by the faithfulness of my gaze upon you, because I cover you, I guard you, and I justify you. Just as no attack prospered, no future attempt will have power over what I protect with my own hands. Comment, who walks with God walks safely. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. Receive these words as fire that warms, heals, and restores. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23 verse 4. My presence surrounds you like a living wall, a constant flame, a shield that never fails. Those who desired your downfall did not understand that no one touches the Anointed One without confronting the weight of my justice. It is not because I am vengeful, but because I am perfectly just. When my chosen ones walk in the light, I honor them. When darkness attempts to reach them, I silence it. You were not only defended, you were exalted. I not only neutralize the attack, I reverse it. What came as an arrow becomes a seed. What came as a fall becomes elevation. What came as destruction becomes a stage for my glory. Nothing formed against you can stand, because everything formed against you must first pass through me, and I do not allow what I have chosen to be touched. Speak this truth with confidence and faith. God is my protector and my strength. My child, there is a movement occurring at this very moment in the spiritual realm around you. The Holy Spirit is working, cleansing the atmosphere, purifying what was heavy, dissolving knots that were created to exhaust you emotionally and spiritually. The weight you felt in recent days did not come from your body. It was a weight upon your soul, accumulated by shadows that attempted to approach you. But now, that weight is being undone. Light is penetrating where oppression tried to rest, peace is flowing where anxiety attempted to settle, and strength is rising where fatigue seemed permanent. You will feel relief. You will feel expansion. You will feel renewal. This is not psychological, it is spiritual. It is the direct result of my intervention, my touch, my decree released over your life. I lift burdens that were never yours to carry, and I breathe my presence into every space where heaviness once tried to hide. Declare with faith and certainty, I feel the move of God renewing me. My child, keep this revelation guarded within your heart. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27 verse 1. You were targeted by darkness precisely because you carry light. The enemy fears those whose destiny carries spiritual impact. He tried to weaken you before your victory, to exhaust you before your harvest, to confuse you before your revelation, but he failed. He underestimated your spiritual roots. He believed he could uproot what I myself planted in you. But what I plant grows even in the middle of storms. Your spirit has deep roots, roots that do not break, roots that strengthen when the winds blow. And the wind blowing over you now is the breath of my Spirit. It disperses what is contrary, cleanses what is impure, and renews what seemed depleted. Nothing that rises against you can overcome the force of what I breathe into you. Affirm this truth with conviction. God breathes life into me every day. My child, no contrary wind has greater power than the wind I send. Energies that attempted to approach you are already retreating. Words spoken against you have already lost their strength. Knots created in hidden places are already being undone. The vibration that tried to settle upon your soul has been shattered. I undo the shadow. I undo the burden. I undo the weight. And I do this because you are entering a time where your spiritual sensitivity will increase even more. Your perception will sharpen, your clarity will be restored, your peace will deepen. You do not depend on circumstances to have peace, you depend on my presence, and my presence is here. What was intended for harm dissolves because my name rests upon you, and where my name rests, no evil can remain. Speak this truth from your spirit. The presence of God is the atmosphere of my soul. My child, declare this truth with full faith. Greater is he who is in me than he who is in the world. 1 John chapter 4 verse 4. I now break every contrary decree, every negative intention, every poisoned word, every hidden desire of destruction, every shadow that tried to approach your path. You are an heir of the light, and no shadow survives in the place where I establish my inheritance. Your steps are being guided away from invisible dangers and toward the promises I prepared for you long before you were born. While you worried, I acted. While you tried to understand, I had already resolved it. Darkness moves quickly, but my power moves instantly. Nothing compares to the strength of my hand when I decide to liberate, restore, and protect a child I love. Walk in this assurance, and declare with conviction, I am guarded by the power of God. You have walked through shadows that others never perceived, yet none of them ever had permission to reach you. My protection was not reactive, it was always ahead of you, preparing the ground where your feet would stand. When the enemy thought he had found an entrance, he discovered nothing but walls of light. When he believed he had room to move, he realized that every corner of your life had already been sealed by my decree. What I declare is eternal, and what I protect is untouchable. The darkness expected terror in your eyes, but I clothed you in courage. The enemy hoped for silence, but I filled your spirit with a sound that shakes the unseen realm, victory. You were never left alone in battle. Every invisible attack found me standing before it. You are not merely preserved, you are proof that nothing formed against you can prosper when my presence surrounds you. Evil tried to rise, but I never allowed it to advance. You are shielded by a love that hell cannot comprehend, and guarded by a purpose that darkness cannot cancel. Within you burns a courage that does not come from your own strength but from my spirit placed within you. Your confidence is a weapon forged in my throne room. When you trust, the enemy collapses. When you rest in me, every storm surrenders. Your peace is not fragile, it is a shield that extinguishes the arrows of the unseen. The serenity that flows from your faith echoes across realms, announcing a victory long established before the battle even began. You have endured what many would not have survived, and this endurance is not a sign of your weakness, it is evidence of my power in your life. You were attacked, but never overtaken. You were pressed, but never crushed. You stood where others would have fallen, not because you were stronger, but because you were carried by my hand. Your survival is not accidental, it is intentional. It is a declaration to every force of darkness that my light does not retreat. You are living proof that no evil is greater than the one who guards you. Those who wished harm upon you will witness the return of their own intentions, for every act of darkness returns to its origin. What was launched against you will arrive back empty, stripped of power, unable to touch your life. I saw every hidden whisper, every concealed plan, every silent attack formed behind closed doors. Yet none of them shaped your destiny, for I am the one who writes your story. Lift your head, my child. You are not a casualty, you are a witness. Your survival is testimony. I did not keep you safe simply for your preservation, but so that others would see through your life how powerful my hand truly is. Your victory will be visible, undeniable, and impossible to silence. Yet your protection, though unseen, has been constant. The spiritual war is already finished, even if your eyes have only begun to perceive the aftermath of my triumph. The enemy roared like a lion, but the true lion, my voice, silenced every threat. Place your hand over your heart and declare with faith that moves mountains, no evil will come near me, for God is my shield. This is not merely a sentence, it is a spiritual decree recognized in heaven. Every word you speak in faith shifts the atmosphere. When your voice aligns with my truth, the unseen realm bows. Mark this moment, for it becomes a divine seal over your life. What was attempted against you has already been intercepted. The works formed against you have been dissolved. The evil sent toward you has been broken. Your mind is lifted, your heart is renewed, your future is safeguarded. You belong to me, and no force of darkness can touch what carries my seal. The enemy watches you and fails to understand how after every fall you still rise, after every wound you still love, after every attack you still shine. He misjudged your resilience because he never understood your source. What sustains you cannot be seen, it is spiritual, eternal, unshaken. From the moment your name was written in my plans, the darkness marked you as a target. It saw in you a threat, for purpose terrifies what thrives on destruction. Evil cannot comprehend a life rooted in me. It cannot understand how someone wounded still speaks blessing, how someone tired still prays, how someone betrayed still forgives. Every time you choose love over retaliation, you defeat the enemy. Every act of compassion becomes a sword in your hand. Every declaration of hope sends shockwaves through the kingdom of darkness. You have battled forces that sought to break you, but instead they revealed what I placed inside you. The enemy does not understand your endurance because he does not carry what you carry, my spirit. Evil is limited. It can push the body, but it cannot touch the soul that belongs fully to me. It can create storms around you, but it cannot alter the destiny I have spoken over you. What is sealed by my will cannot be undone. I saw every hidden intention long before it took form. I observed silently, not out of neglect, but out of wisdom. There is a time to reveal and a time to wait. I remain silent when the enemy believes he has gained ground so that his own arrogance becomes the instrument of his downfall. The strike he designed against you becomes the very thing that elevates you. The trap built for your destruction becomes the stage for your promotion. Do not fear what was done in the shadows. Shadows cannot overpower the light I have placed in you. Every curse becomes a stepping stone. Every trap becomes a pathway. Every attack becomes momentum. Nothing launched against you was wasted. I transform all of it into material for your victory. You rise not despite the battle, but because of it. What the enemy meant for harm, I now shape into glory. There was a moment when darkness believed exhaustion would break you. It thought that weariness would silence your prayers, that fatigue would dim your faith. Yet here you are, still standing, still believing, still radiating light. Your endurance is not natural, it is spiritual. You were strengthened by my breath, lifted by my hand, empowered by my presence. Every moment you felt like collapsing, I was the one holding you. Every time you questioned how you would continue, I was expanding your strength. Evil attempted to bury you under the weight of pressure, but I transformed the pressure into power. You have grown in silence, matured in trials, and risen through storms. The enemy hoped to isolate you, but instead you became surrounded by my light. He wanted your tears to drown you, but I used them to water the seeds of your purpose. He wanted to see you in ruins, but I am rebuilding you into something unshakable. Now hear me, the enemy's greatest mistake was believing that you were vulnerable. What he saw as fragility was actually preparation. What he interpreted as defeat was the shaping of a conqueror. You are stepping into a season where what was done against you becomes irrelevant. Your steps are ordered. Your path is guarded. Your spirit is anchored in me. Nothing can block the future I have appointed for you. My child, stand firm in this truth. You were never the one in danger, the enemy was. For every time he attacked you, he struck against the shield of my presence. Every time he tried to wound you, he collided with a power he cannot overcome. You walk forward not as a survivor but as a victor. You shine not as someone recovering, but as someone rising into glory. My hand has never left you, and my purpose will never fail. My child, listen closely, because what I am about to reveal enters deeper than thought and touches the very core of your spirit. There were moments when you believed you had reached your limit, when the weight on your shoulders felt unbearable and your strength seemed to drain with every breath. Darkness whispered that it was your end, that nothing remained in you capable of rising again. Yet precisely there, in that fragile place, in that silent collapse, in the moment the world believed you were defeated, my spirit breathed life back into you. I infused strength where exhaustion lived, courage where fear tried to reign, and hope where despair attempted to settle. That breath from my throne was not merely comfort, it was a decree. And when my decrees are spoken over you, hell trembles. You rose not because you had force in your flesh, but because divine power surged through your being. You took one more step, and that step altered the spiritual landscape around you. For when a child of mine chooses to continue, hell collapses beneath the weight of heaven's authority. The darkness expected your collapse, but instead it witnessed your resilience. Evil watched you forgive when revenge would have been easy. It watched you stand in peace when storms tried to devour your mind. It watched you respond with faith when fear would have been the logical reaction. And because your responses came from the kingdom inside you, the enemy became confused. He does not know how to fight what cannot be shaken. Every attempt he launched was intercepted before reaching you. Every word spoken against you was dissolved before it could root itself. In realms your eyes cannot see, angels took their positions around your life like sentinels of fire. A real war was fought for you, and though you did not see the clash, you have surely seen the results, every attack that mysteriously failed, every danger that passed by, every evil that crumbled. You walk the earth protected by layers of my presence, layers that evil cannot penetrate. Your territory has been consecrated, marked as mine, sealed under a covenant that darkness fears. The enemy tries to find openings, whispering lies to weaken your faith. He attempts to sow fear, doubt, and discouragement in moments when you are vulnerable. He tries convincing you that you are alone, abandoned in the midst of battles too big for your hands. But fear is his illusion, not your truth. From the very beginning, my spirit has been beside you, guiding, guarding, comforting, strengthening. Where evil seeks to enter, my spirit already dwells. He is the quiet whisper that calms your heart, the inner stirring that warns you of danger, the sudden peace that settles over you when the world around you screams chaos. When you lie down to sleep and peace surrounds you despite the heaviness of the day, it is the Holy Spirit covering you like a shield. His presence is the undeniable proof that evil has no access to you. While the enemy wastes energy trying to bring you down, the Spirit within you lifts you up again and again. While evil feeds on hatred, you feed on light. While darkness plots destruction, you declare blessing. And where blessing is declared, darkness loses power. Hatred does not thrive in a heart filled with love. Curses do not take root in soil watered by forgiveness. Envy cannot prevail over a life upheld by divine favor. Those who resent your growth and envy your victories do not understand the battles you fought in secret, the tears that became strength, the nights you stayed awake under my instruction, the moments you wanted to quit but my hand sustained you. Every tear was preparation. Every struggle was training. Every disappointment was a sharpening. And now the enemy does not understand how you became unreachable. He repeats old strategies hoping one of them will work, but your mind has been liberated. Your spirit has matured. Your discernment has sharpened. You recognize the enemy's lies before they even form, and that awareness disarms him. You know now that your protector is not luck or coincidence, it is the Creator himself. And when that truth settles into your soul, fear can no longer govern you. You walk with confidence, not arrogance, but the confidence of a child who knows he is guarded by a king. Your life belongs to me, and because of that, it is not an object for witchcraft or a toy in the hands of envy. No word spoken against you has permission to cross the spiritual borders I have placed around your life. You are not an easy target, you are a temple. And where there is a temple, there is glory. You were not created to walk the earth trembling at the shadow of evil. You were created to walk covered by my presence. I do not desire that you fear evil, I desire that evil fears your faith. When you open your mouth and declare my name, the spiritual atmosphere shifts. The air becomes purified. The weight in your mind dissolves. Invisible forces rearrange themselves. Darkness cannot withstand the sound of authority, and authority is carried in your voice when it is aligned with my spirit. Use your voice, my child. Sentence the atmosphere with victory. Declare what I have spoken, and watch how the realm of the unseen responds. You carry more power than you realize. When you praise, evil retreats. When you forgive, hell collapses. When you bless your enemies, the kingdom of darkness is weakened. When you choose peace, chaos loses influence. You do not merely feel my presence, you carry it. Within you flows the same power that upholds the universe, the same Spirit who raised Christ from the dead. And while evil attempts to paralyze you, I use every attempt as momentum to propel you forward. The attack that was meant to destroy you becomes the very thing that pushes you into new levels. Every negative word spoken against you becomes the stage where I display my glory. Every attempt to diminish you becomes the backdrop for your exaltation. When the enemy believes he is tearing you apart, I am using every fragment to reflect even more light. Your breakthrough is not accidental, it is built from battles you overcame with prayer, tears, surrender, and endurance. There will come a day when you look back and see how many times I saved you without your awareness. There were moments when danger was diverted at the last second, when meetings were canceled, when opportunities that would have harmed you were blocked, when certain people suddenly distanced themselves not because they rejected you, but because I intervened. These were not coincidences, they were divine interruptions. My spirit rerouted evil before it could locate you. You are fortified not from the outside, but from within. Evil may observe you, but it cannot touch you. The radiance of your soul, the light I placed within you, forms a wall that repels every attempt. Where the Holy Spirit dwells, no shadow remains. Those who worked against you will come to understand that nothing penetrates the covering of the Lamb. This is not superstition, nor a ritual, nor an amulet, it is spiritual law. Where there is light, darkness cannot reign. Your body is my temple. Your mind is my altar. Your spirit is my dwelling place. And because of that, you walk the earth with a covering that cannot be removed, bought, or broken. My child, understand this deeply. You are not weak, you are not vulnerable, you are not exposed. You are surrounded, protected, upheld, and filled. The enemy does not fear your achievements, he fears your identity. He fears the authority you carry. He fears the spirit inside you. He fears the faith that rises in you every time you choose to trust me despite the storm. And he fears the future I am building for you. Continue walking. Continue believing. Continue declaring my name. For you do not walk alone, you walk fortified by heaven itself. For while evil was shaping its plans in shadows, I had already dispatched my general. He descended like lightning between heaven and earth, wielding a sword of unapproachable light that no darkness can withstand. His name is Michael, guardian of my glory, prince of celestial warfare, the one who rises whenever hell presumes to touch what belongs to me. He did not wait for the attack to unfold. He moved before it had coherence. Your prayer summoned him. Your faith activated him. Your trust signaled him. Michael never arrives late, he arrives precisely when evil believes it has won. His sword does not strike flesh, it breaks invisible chains. He dismantles agreements made in secret places of darkness. He destroys gateways opened through hatred, envy, curses, and word spirits spoken against you. He silences every mouth that dared speak your name with malicious intent. The enemy fears many things, but there is one name he fears above all in the angelic armies, and that name is Michael. For Michael does not negotiate with shadows, he disperses them. He does not argue with evil, he silences it. Wherever he steps, the ground becomes holy. Wherever he speaks, the atmosphere purifies. Wherever he acts, darkness dissolves. While many around you slept, Michael kept watch over your home. You did not see him, but you felt the shift. That night when fear pressed upon your chest, when a force you could not describe tried to enter your thoughts, it was Michael who stood between you and the threat. That dawn when an inexplicable weight fell upon your soul, it was he who raised his sword and cut through the invisible attack. Those dreams you had of blinding light, those were not dreams, they were glimpses of his passing. I sent him to seal everything that belongs to you. Evil attempted to steal your peace, but Michael restored it. They attempted to confuse your path, but he realigned it. They tried to slow your progress, but he cut the cords that sought to hold you back. He does not come to replace you, he comes to battle alongside you. You pray, he strikes. You believe, he conquers. You stand firm, he fortifies your position. There is hierarchy in my kingdom, and Michael stands as the banner of my justice, the one who defends the righteous and dismantles the arrogance of darkness. Everything that was sent against you is now dust beneath the feet of my warrior. No malicious altar survives when Michael approaches. No destructive word remains intact when his presence arrives. The enemy attempted to hide behind human faces, stirring emotions, triggering memories, manipulating feelings, yet deception collapses in the light, and Michael tore the veil. He revealed what was hidden, exposed intentions, severed alliances built against you, and pushed every shadow into the light. And light always consumes what darkness creates. Even now, there is a sound in the heavens announcing your deliverance. It is the sound of Michael's wings moving above you. When he moves, the air vibrates. The atmosphere shifts. The weight of evil evaporates. If your eyes could see what surrounds you, you would collapse under the awe of it, multitudes of angels forming a shield around your life, walls of fire encircling your path, swords raised to ensure nothing formed against you stands. While enemies invoked your name in hidden places, the name of your God echoed louder in the heavenly realms. Michael hears only one voice, the voice of divine command. And when he hears, he acts without delay. He cuts every cord connecting you to fear. He dissolves every channel through which darkness attempted to reach you. He interrupts every curse spoken, every intention formed, every shadow sent. The work they built against you no longer has structure, for it was shattered by the touch of the celestial sword. There are wounds inside you being healed, old pains being lifted from the root, soul ties being severed forever. Michael works with precision. He is not chaotic. He does not wound, he frees. He does not punish, he restores alignment. Where the enemy planted confusion, Michael plants order. Where torment lived, he establishes peace. Where anguish tried to grow, he places certainty. Evil tries to rise again, but every attempt is met by Michael standing firm, unwavering, unshakable. He does not tire. He does not retreat. He does not doubt. Every time the enemy seeks to open a breach, my angel steps forward and declares, "No further." And when Michael says no further, heaven has spoken. You must understand this mystery, my child. the Holy Spirit and Michael operate in unity concerning you. The Spirit strengthens you internally, Michael protects you externally. The Spirit ignites your faith, Michael ensures nothing extinguishes that flame. The Spirit whispers truth into your heart, Michael executes that truth in the spiritual realm. Nothing evil can coordinate gains access, because the Spirit guards you from within and Michael guards you from without. This dual coverage is not accidental, it is strategic, intentional, and permanent. While darkness imagined it had discovered an opening, it found itself facing a wall of fire it could not cross. While curses were spoken, the Spirit canceled them before they touched your atmosphere. While fear tried to enter through thought, Michael blocked the doorway. While despair tried to speak into your nights, the Spirit replaced every whisper with my peace. You are not merely protected, you are fortified. And so I ask you to internalize this truth. You walk daily inside a realm of protection that predates your battles. You have been watched over long before the enemy even formed the idea to strike. Nothing reaches you without passing through my sovereignty. And my sovereignty is impenetrable. Raise your head. Walk with assurance. You are not fragile. You are not vulnerable. You are not at the mercy of circumstances or attacks. You are defended, covered, sealed, and carried. The angelic armies do not gather around a life without purpose. They surround you because there is a destiny within you that hell fears. You are the living evidence of deliverance, the embodied proof that darkness cannot triumph over a soul anchored in me. And I will not allow anything, visible or invisible, to interfere with what I am building inside you. Therefore, my child, breathe deeply. Feel the shift within you. Peace is not something you are searching for, it is something being placed inside you. Rest is not distant, it is settling upon you. Strength is not coming, it is already here. What once intimidated you now bows before the authority I have placed upon your life. You will notice it in the coming days, the clarity returning, the courage rising, the spiritual atmosphere around you becoming lighter, purer, brighter. Nothing that once held power over you can reclaim it. Michael stands his post. The Spirit fortifies your inner world. And I surround you as a wall of unapproachable light. Walk forward. Not in fear, but in dominion. Not in anxiety, but in confidence. Not as someone hoping for victory, but as someone who carries it. With love, God. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.